So Sakura has released as this week's update for GP. Of course, she's coming to global next week. And a question for a lot of people is, should I be summoning for Sakura? This video won't be a should you summon, but you can use it as it is because I probably will be talking about it. I haven't scripted anything, but I probably will talk about if you should summon or not. Talk about her banner and herself. So I'll be talking more about the PvP side of Sakura. Her PvE version is actually really good. Actually, let me talk about really quickly about her PvE side. I have brought up the PvP, but let me click this one. The PvE version of Sakura is really good. Body for 250 plus 500 healing, so she heals for 850 if you have her in the back. Plus, does really good damage against kill. I mean, she's gonna have types advantage, but she almost neutralizes the types advantage. And I mean, she does neutralize the type disadvantage on her last ability, plus she does increase damage against skill and body, so she can be very helpful for those body objectives or skill objectives. I mean, skill raid body objectives, right? Normal jutsu is just an 8 times towards 1, but the ultimate is a 25 towards 1, knocks them back 60% chance left damage for 6 turns, and or mobilization for 3 turns, and you heal for 2500 for 3 turns. Her ultimate is like insane for PvE, really good. And not only that, she can provide herself an attack booster on her banner. If you do something with her banner, you can bring her attack booster, because with a low attack stat but high multiplier, attack boosters can really help her. And in the 6th step, you have a chance of getting King Sasuke, which is the best, for now of course, the best attack booster for body. So you can make her a pretty good nuke for the body team. But I really want to focus on the PvP side, because most Blazing Bash units, I mean, all Blazing Bash units, you want to be summoning for them, should use them on PvP. If you want to use a unit on PvE, you might as well just summon on Blazing Fest, because all the units on the banner are going to be PvE units, while Blazing Bash, the units are 100% focused on PvP and thought out about PvP. So again, that's just how I'm going to be treating her. I'm not going to be really treating her for a PvE side. But going on the PvP topic, her kit is really not out of place, but at the same time it's kind of weird. Like, syncing with body to nullify mobilization, I wish instead of syncing with body she synced with hidden leaf. That would be so much easier, because if you're gonna sync her with body, it's not really that great to have a full like stack team of only one element. But at the same time, right now in this meta, we have way too many heart units. This post, of course, made by JackSpec. I've talked about this post yesterday if you want to see me going more in depth on it. But there are way more heart units than any type. Like right here, this is of course a list of the top 50 teams and the units that were used on these top 50 teams for global. 101 heart, and like all the other ones were like barely half of the amount of heart. So you can have a really body-centric team because heart is really on the meta, but at the same time it's not good. Like, you really shouldn't be focusing your team because of their elements, right? But more because of what the unit does. But this sync is really good because immobilization is like super prevalent on PvP. You can see King Sasuke in almost every good team. I mean, the top 50 didn't have King Sasuke as much, but you really see King Sasuke very frequently, especially on Kage League. So you really want to have units that do nullify mobilization, which herself does immobilize on her normal jutsu. 9.4 towards all enemies in range, 70% chance mobilization. Her multiplier is pretty high for a normal jutsu, but her attack stat is extremely low, 1800. Just for comparison's sake, let me bring up another Blazing Bash unit. Let me bring up the, who was the last Blazing Bash unit? Naruto. Naruto was the last Blazing Bash unit. The Forte was Naruto. Let me just bring him up right here. This is Forte was Naruto's attack stat. It's 4300. Hers 1800. It's a real big difference, which is why her multiplier is so high. As I said, units that have low attack stat but high multiplier, you can really boost that damage if you have a buddy of boosting attack. So if you do have like Final Valley Naruto behind her giving the 300 attack boost, that could be very beneficial. But at the same time, unfortunately, PvP and PvE boosts are the same. I wish that for some, like, as I mentioned Final Valley Naruto, Instead of him giving the 300 attack boost for PvE and PvP, instead of PvP he gave like 900 because stats on PvP are different than PvE. That's off topic. So Sakura herself doesn't do too much damage on her normal jutsu if you don't give her an attack boost. But on heart units she does like a pretty decent damage. And the 70% chance immobilization can be really clutch. People are going to look at immobilization and think, whoa. But they're really going to be basing off Sasuke, the killing Sasuke. Killing Sasuke has 2 seconds while she has 1. That's still pretty good. If you can get, because she's AoE, right? If you can get her to hit 2 units, I actually forgot what's her hitbox. I'm going to check right here what her hitbox is. But if you can land the jutsu on 2 units and immobilize both of them, that can be a real money shot for the match. Like really, immobilizing 2 units in the same match, that's a hitbox. It's not that great. I talked in a video today actually of the new PvP Sasuke that Global just got. Everyone that qualified to getting him on top 5,000 for Kage did get the Sasuke. His hitbox is not very good for most maps, and her hitbox is also not going to be very good. But if you can land 2 people and immobilize both of them, that's a big deal. That's like a huge deal. The ultimate you're never going to see. But the normal jutsu, that's a big deal if you can immobilize 2 people, so that can be very, very helpful. Now that all that I said right now is my opinion, but actually I watched Mystic Watch's review on her and J-Rock's review on her, and I'm gonna be kind of like talking about what they think and what I agree with them. So Sakura, because of the heart, this is what Mystic said, and I agree 100%. Because of the heart meta, she can be a real big deal. If you can summon for her, like get her second step or something, like first step, if you get like the up on the first step, that can be a big deal because the most used unit on PvP now is Final Valley Naruto, and she does a pretty decent damage on him. And then second is Final Valley Sasuke, but then third, oh actually I thought it was the Sage Naruto, but Sage Naruto is pretty close, right? Sage Naruto is pretty close up there as well. So if you can hit one of them with like her jutsu, do a very good damage and immobilize them, that's a big deal. Because of the heart meta, that is a big deal. So body units, they are really good right now because of that. But I do think that there are good skill units that can really counter her. OT Naruto, how many people are using OT Naruto? That's this one, right? I think it is. No, this one, 7. I mean, it wasn't too much, but I do see a lot of OT Naruto teams, and she can really get destroyed by him. It does like, what, 37k? That's almost a one-shot. She can be really messed up, but at the same time, she does have a good amount of damage. She doesn't have damage reduction overall. She has damage reduction for Bravery and Wisdom. When this came out for like Final Valley Naruto, that was really good because Sage 6 Pep's mother was really prevalent. Nowadays, it's not as much. I actually barely see Sage 6 Pep's Madara, the braver one, on PvP anymore. It's funny because he used to be like, people used to run like 5 of him, but nowadays it's not as prevalent. So Bravery and Wisdom is actually not that big of a deal. But if you run into like a situation where the enemy Gaara or Sasori is gonna jutsu you and that could kill you, that could really help, right? That 30% damage reduction. So it is a changing factor. Hitting people and getting chakra is not good. On PvP, being hit to get chakra is much better because you're probably only gonna hit someone once. Like maybe 2 people at the same time because she's AoE, but you're probably only gonna hit them once. So, and then after that, it's really difficult to like have the chakra jutsu again. I mean, maybe if you get 1 chakra and hitting, I mean that's good because you don't have to fully dupe her. The last ability is like not very good. Up until here, it's pretty good. I would say actually that she doesn't need abilities, which is a good point for her. Not needing abilities at all, it's really good because there are units, of course, like the Naruto, for instance, that I just brought, the Four Tails Naruto. He's nothing if he doesn't have the abilities. Let me bring him up again. He's really nothing if you don't have the abilities. If you don't, okay, let me go back here. If you don't have his abilities of increasing damage, he just serves for nothing because that's his only thing. If you don't have these abilities, he doesn't do anything. So Sakura not having abilities is still very good, and that's a good thing because if you just get her in the first step, you don't need to go for dupes. That's good. Now, here's my final verdict though, and this was said by J-Rock. I think, actually I watched his videos. I watched his video I think 2 days ago. I might be forgetting this, but she's good. She won't be a big deal on PvP for now, because I can't see most people summoning for her, because her banner is bad. Her banner is not good because of the 6th step. The 6th step, all of these 4 units, they are not good on PvP. Haku is not good, Zabuza is not good, Sasuke is awful, Itachi is decent. He can work, but he's not good. Sakura is probably the best one here. And if you get like Sasuke, that's terrible. Like, he's not gonna be a unit you're ever gonna use. Or Zabuza. I mean, Zabuza... Dude, someone's fucking sawing someone outside. Zabuza, if he gets his Nerf break, he could work. But until then, he's just not good. And that's a big deal for most people, especially if you're free to play and you've been saving for a while to summon on the Blazing Bash banner. You should wait for a banner that has Minato here. Or the Bravery Madara that just came out, the Bravery Blazing Bash Madara that just came out, because they're good units. But these units are not good. And that's really what like broke me for this banner. Other than that, it's just a regular Blazing Bash banner, which at that point, I really do recommend people to just summon for these banners right here, where there are multiple featured units. I'm gonna have to dig really deep because it was a couple months ago. I mean, it was a month and something ago. It was just before the Naruto banner, right? The Blazing Bash Naruto banner. Or was it after? Now I'm getting yeah, this one. This banner right here has 7 featured units. You can get them, all 7 of them each step. While on Sakura's banner, you can only get her. She's the only featured unit. If you go on the summon rates, she is literally the only featured unit. And she is 0.33, so probably you're not gonna get them on the other steps that she's not rated up or guaranteed. So it's a weird situation that we're in right now, where it's not really recommendable to summon for banners. I would say though, if you want her, if you feel like your team is gonna be benefiting from her, she's not a bad option. I don't think she is. I really do wish that her banner was better with these featured units, but the thing also is that these units haven't been on banners for a long time. That's probably why they just came here, but they're bad. They're not good. The last banner had like amazing. It was Madara, the new Obito, and the new Madara for the Four Tails Naruto one. That was amazing. This banner though, it's really disappointing. But yeah, I do think that you shouldn't summon for her. But if you feel like your team can really benefit from her, having her as a body unit that can really counter Final Value Narutos and stuff, you can go for her. I would say she's not a bad unit. If you pull her like in the next Blazing Bash banner, you go 3 steps in and you pull her in this step that guarantees any Blazing Bash unit, like a random Blazing Bash unit, you're probably gonna be good on using her on your team. You can just randomly get her in other Blazing Bash banners as well. That's why I would actually also advise people to summon for the banners that have 2 Blazing Bash units, not just 1, because they're only summoning for Sakura. Like if you go back here, what banner was it? I think it was actually a bit old. The Madara and Obito banner, both of them were featured, and both of them were 1%. Where is it? Where is it? This one. Both of them were featured, and both of them were 1%. And they were really easy to get. Like the first 2 steps weren't rated up like this one because they were already 1%. And then this one, of course, is the same as this one. You get a guaranteed Blazing Bash banner unit. Every single Blazing Bash banner has this step, so you're never gonna be missing out on this. And then they were rated up, and then you were guaranteed another Blazing Bash unit at random. So that could be like 2 opportunities to get Sakura if a banner like this ever comes back. And then both of them were rated up, and then one of them was guaranteed the last step. So I do want to say that it could be better to wait for banners that have 2 featured units instead of just 1, just for the simple fact that you're going to be doing better for your money, right? Summoning on 2 units instead of just 1, that could be good, because we don't know who's the next Blazing Bash, and we don't know what banner is going to come, right? It could be Blazing Bash or Orochimaru and there is already a Blazing Bash or Orochimaru, but it could be another one, because I mean there was already a Blazing Bash Sakura, there was already a Blazing Bash Naruto, and we just got a new one, so there could be a new like Blazing Bash Kabuto that goes Sage mode and Orochimaru. I don't know, I'm just throwing out there. So you know, you can wait for stuff. You don't have to be summoning on every banner. I always say this, you shouldn't be summoning on every banner, because especially if you're only gonna do one multi, and then you do one multi and get shafted, and then what? It's much better going for steps, where the third step right here is guaranteed something. You better at least going for the third step if you're only gonna be summoning once. So yeah, I would say, again, she's not, the banner is not good. The banner is terrible, but she's good. The banner is not though. The banner is terrible. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.